Alright guys, happy Thursday. Okay, we've made it almost all the way through the week. It is September 12th, 2013. And welcome to Today in 10 or Less. Now today, we finished up in class our writer's dispositions. I had you get right to work on the notes today to finish up in the unit packet because tomorrow we're moving ahead to our writer's workshop days. Every Friday is going to be a writer's workshop day, and I wanted to make sure that we got through the rest of everything that you need to know about who a writer is and what a writer does, what they embody as a person. Remember, I reminded you during today that if we want to know how to be a supreme athlete, we follow around a supreme athlete. We do the things he or she does, and we follow and we try to be that person instead of setting a goal that may or not be met when we're talking about, the end result of something. If we always make it an end result as our goal, then our progress might not wind up being good enough for us, and we might be tempted to give up. So our progress is focused on who we are becoming as writers. So yesterday we talked about how having courage, how being willing to share yourself and open up to other people, the courage that takes to throw yourself out there because haters are going to hate is important to be a writer. Because if you don't do that, people may miss out on needing to hear what you have to say. Understanding. Are you open to learning more? That's what that's all about. Understanding. Somebody who shows understanding, we explained yesterday, somebody who shows understanding, they know what's going on. If you say, oh, that person's really understanding, they get it. If we're open more to learning, the more understanding we can be, not just about who we are and who other people are, but about what writing is and how we can truly take that and give it to somebody else and maybe touch and connect to a reader. Perseverance was the third one. I skipped over it actually yesterday because I figured that you guys got all the references that were hidden in there. In the notes I say you have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them for now. I was actually very surprised to learn that not a lot of you got that reference. I'm referring not just to the, I believe it's the Eagles, not just to that Eagles song, know when to fold them. I'm not just referring to that. I'm also referring to the game of poker. When you have a good hand in the game of poker, you're holding the cards. If you've got a good hand, you're holding on to them. You want to play it out. You want to see how the entire hand goes and see it out to the finish to see just how good that hand's going to be. See, but if you don't have that great a hand, you're going to fold them. But wait a minute. You don't crumple up those cards and throw them away. No, they go back into the deck on the table. And later, those cards might come back to you in a combination that really works to be very successful. See, your writing is going to be the same way. That's why I'm having you put together these composition notebooks that we're going to be using tomorrow and every Friday, is because some of your ideas might not work right now. Some of your ideas might never work in the way that they are right now. And you have to know, hey, I'm just going to be spinning my wheels. I'm just going to be beating my head up against the wall and not getting anywhere, and it's going to be really frustrating. Table that idea. That might get dealt back to you a little bit later, and it might work. But as long as you keep that stuff, remember I told the story in class today, I threw out a whole bunch of my journals and diaries and stuff that I just really wish I had when I went back to start writing my book. I didn't have that, and I wish that I did. Facepalm. Okay? Hang on to everything, because your ideas are worth having and worth sharing. They just might not be working right now. Now the last three, we really tackled today in your notes. Reflection. How can I improve? We all look in a mirror every day. And what are we doing? Now, for me, it's too late. I can't help it. This is what comes out. Sorry. You got to look at it. Okay? But we look at a mirror every day and we say, okay, I look like this. This is going on. This is going on. This is going on. If we don't like the way we look, or we think we can look better, what do? We change. We're used to doing that. We either change clothes, or we change our hair up a little bit, or maybe some of you girls don't do it because you don't need to do it, but maybe some of you girls put on a little makeup, okay? I grow a beard to hide as much of my face as I possibly can, that type of thing. But we are used to taking this idea of looking at ourselves objectively, how other people might look at us who don't have the emotional attachment we do to ourselves, and fixing it to the way we think it ought to look. Take this book, for example. This is an object. If I'm looking at this objectively, as an object, okay, that's all it is. This book doesn't feel. I can say, hey book, you're stupid, you're dumb, I don't like you. It doesn't change the book, it's still a book, and I didn't hurt the book's feelings because you can't. It's an object. But you know what? I'll bet Appleby, you probably can't see this, Appleby, Brinkley, Broussard, McPherson, Ritchie, I'll bet they would take it a little personally if I said this book is stupid. But we've got to be careful. See, when we reflect, sometimes we hold on to our words like they're our baby. And we say, no, I don't want you to take my baby away from me. I don't want you. But wait a minute. If you give your words to somebody and they say, I don't get it, you snatch it back and you say, well, yeah, because you don't get me. And you hand it to somebody else and they go, wait, I'm not connecting to this. You snatch it back and you say, you'll never get me. Nobody gets me. I don't care. But wait a minute. You've got something important that you need to share. You've got something that nobody else has. You've got you and your mind and your experiences and your feelings. And you might be able to use those to connect. But if there's a disconnect happening, you never get that to your audience. Think of your work like a baby. Do it. Go ahead. But be careful. Think of your work like a baby. A baby is really easy to connect with, right? All you got to do is smile at a baby and he'll go. And that's awesome. You can connect with a baby really easily. What happens if that baby poos its diaper and that poo starts running down the leg? And that baby's got the sticky jam hands and the jam mouth and they're crying and they got snot bubbles coming out and they're screaming and uh-oh. It's a lot harder to make a connection with that baby, right? You try to hand that baby off to somebody, they're going, no, thank you. See, nobody wants to change diapers. Nobody wants to do the sticky jam hands thing, clean it off, and have to deal with the crying baby. But I tell you what, if we truly love that baby, we're going to clean that baby up. We're going to get it all de-sticky. We're going to dry its eyes. We're going to wipe its nose to the point where it can actually go to somebody else and make a connection. Do you see the connection there, guys? Your writing, you need to take care of as though you love it. Because it's your words, it's important to get it out there. And we need to be able to reflect on our words so that we can make a connection with an audience member. Because after all, that's what our author's purpose is always going to be about, making that connection. We also have to understand that we have expertise. Along that same lines, we have expertise. We are an expert at something. And that information we have is going to be useful to other people. And all of us are experts on at least one thing. Ourselves. You are an expert at you. And so, just like you wouldn't hide who you are from the people around you if you've got something to add to a conversation, or if you've got a skill that other people don't have that you can bring to the table, you wouldn't want to hold that back in real life. Why would you hold that back in your writing? Make a connection. Share. People need to have you acknowledge, right? Admit to, and utilize, use your strengths. Last but not least, collaboration. Guys, the world would not know who Eminem is if it weren't for Dr. Dre and working together, right? Eminem is hugely popular, but he only got popular because one guy saw him and said, you know what? This guy's got talent, and I want to see if I can build that talent up. I've got a strength where he has a weakness. And that's, I've already got a recording studio. I've already got a production company. I can help this kid as long as he wants to be helped. Well, now they work together all the time, and Eminem is probably one of the best rappers out there right now. Why? Because he raps about stuff that matters. He touches people's lives. Macklemore's the same way. See, some of these rappers out here now, always talking about money and hoes and drugs and all the stuff that they got that you don't got. And we go out and we buy their records. It's nonsense. But here are some people who are truly touching other people's lives with their words. And they're not just here today, gone tomorrow like a lot of these new rappers are. Because their words mean something. But they would never have gotten that opportunity if they hadn't met up with people. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, right? Ryan Lewis's beats and his mixes are sick. Macklemore's lyrics and his rap style is sick. But you put those two together, oh, look what you got. Look what you've got. You've got star power. Same thing in sports. It doesn't matter how good a basketball player somebody is. If they're playing 1-on-5, they're never going to win. they're never going to win. We need to collaborate. We need to work with others. We need to learn from, through, and with others in order to be successful. Now, as your final burn today, I had you take a look at that list we created from yesterday that you can find at the bottom of yesterday's post. So, down, 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 on yesterday's post. If you click on that, you can see our 105 dispositions, or qualities that we wrote down. I think all those 105 fit into these 6. They can all be slotted home into one of these 6. So I want you to pick 3 qualities that you feel really describe you from that list. And I wanted you to take 3 qualities that you felt like you could build a goal for yourself around for this year. And I wanted you to write about why you think those 3 qualities describe you, and why you want to build a goal around the other 3 qualities that maybe you feel like you want to have. That was part of your homework. Also part of your homework, make sure you're reading, make sure you're watching my notes. The fact that you're watching this video right now is proof that you're doing some of your homework right now. Keep it up, guys. I am digging how into this you are. I'm glad that you guys want to be writers, because you got something to say. You've got something to say. Remember, the world doesn't owe you anything just because you were born. You have to work hard to achieve what you have to achieve. But I tell you what, you are special enough that the world deserves to hear what you have to say. Keep that in mind. Remember that we've got Writers' Workshop tomorrow. And guys, we are going to have so much fun with that this year, because you are going to get to just let your mind go. And I'm excited to see what you're going to come up with. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. I will see you guys tomorrow.